Hello, it's Jamie Green, the Solar Queen, and it is Friday, I think it's the 23rd. What day is it? It's the 23rd, Memorial Day weekend, and this has been kind of a roller coaster of a week when it comes to solar energy and renewable energy, solar for residential homes, and all the things. So, if you've been paying attention to the news and this big, beautiful bill that has been written and went to the House to get voted on, it did get voted on and was passed the House, and now it's going to the senators and to the Senate to be voted on. I think there's going to be some revisions. So, one of the things when on my last live stream, I was talking about how products such as TPOs or third-party ownerships weren't going to be affected by it. Well, in the 11th hour, they changed it. Somebody changed it, and it got voted on. And I don't think that everyone, from my understanding, not everyone that were going to be voting on it knew that that was slipped in. And so now it's with the Senate, and I think that there's going to be some revisions there, which is good. Looking at residential solar altogether, I did watch the CEO, Mary Powell from Sunrun. I did watch her little news snippet on CNBC. I woke up and I think I saw a clip of it. And so, there's some things that are going on with residential solar when it comes to homeowners that are wanting to save on their energy costs. So I wanted to talk today about what to do in light of this looming bill that could get passed. So it has to go to the Senate. If they don't pass it and they revise it, they have to go back to it goes back to the House to be voted on, and then it goes to the Senate to get voted on, and then it goes to the president to be signed. So there's still some time and everything like that. And I've been talking to some homeowners who are definitely looking into getting solar before this all happens. But should that ITC, the 30% federal tax credit, go away, does it still make sense to go solar? Well, I completely depends on what state you live on, what your goals are for your home and your energy, and yeah, all of those things. Where I live in California, our energy costs are so expensive that even if the ITC does go away, well, all that's going to do is it's going to just take a few more years to get your ROI, or your return on your investment. I do anticipate that if this all happens, like if the ITC goes away, there will probably be some consolidation in the industry, meaning not everyone's going to stay in this industry, whether it's salespeople, whether it's solar installation companies, and whatnot. So it's very, very important that if you as a homeowner have considered going solar, that you should just really do it now. Um, that seems to be a phrase that I am embracing and living by, but do it now. Do it now, because even if you sign and you get installed, and that tax credit, depending on what happens, you hopefully, fingers crossed, get installed and turned on before the end of the year. Because if this does pass and that ITC, the 30% federal tax credit, does go away December 31st, 2025, then at least we know you got installed, you got commissioned, and you're good. You're in, and you'll be able to take that tax credit. And when that or I don't want to say when, if it passes and you wait until the end of summer, there's a possibility that you're not going to be able to claim the 30% federal tax credit, and you're paying full price, which is still fine, like especially in California, where I live and where a lot of my customers reside, and who are paying exorbitant amount of energy costs. But let's talk about some of the benefits if I'm going solar, even if the ITC goes away. So one of the biggest things that I can't stress to you enough is the fact that you're still locking in a kilowatt hour rate for your energy that is hopefully less, And I say hopefully because in states where you live and your energy costs are like 15 cents a kilowatt hour, that's really hard to do with solar unless you pay cash. If you pay cash, that is still a huge possibility to get solar installed at less than 15 cents a kilowatt hour, depending on the system size and what all is being done to your home in terms of, additional adders to make sure that your house can go solar. Like if you need electrical upgrades, that might adjust that kilowatt hour rate. Um, Whether or not you need roofing, if you get batteries and how many, things like that. But it will in places like California, and I wanna even say the northeastern states, so New England, your electricity rates are in the high 20s and low 30s and maybe even more. But in places like that, if we can lock in solar rate for you that's less than that, that means you're saving on your energy costs for a large portion, if not all of your energy. So there's that. That is a huge thing, is that just that the money savings aspect of solar. But even beyond that, it is that energy independence and resilience. When you get a solar system installed on your house, on your rooftop, you are installing a power plant, a miniature power plant on your rooftop that is powering your home. Right now, it's not hot enough to run the air conditioning, but if it were and our air conditioning kicked in, my solar systems are producing the energy I need to run my air conditioning, and I don't have to pay the utility company for that energy because I am making a purchase or leasing the solar equipment to then lock in a certain rate per kilowatt hour for my electricity. And the way that we've oftentimes determine and figure out how much, your kilowatt hour rate is, your levelized cost per kilowatt hour is the cost of the system divided by the estimated kilowatt hour production for over a 25-year span. I just helped a new friend, an acquaintance, I guess more of an acquaintance. It's kind of an interesting story, but they just got solar installed on their house. I think they were paying like close to, oh geez, $14,000 a year on energy. And so I helped him get solar on his rooftop and get some storage on there. But his savings with all of that factored in over 25 years was something in the range of $350,000. So imagine you live in a house, you live in a climate where you have to run air conditioning. Or maybe you're getting a heat pump, and so now you're all electric, and you're having to pay, and you're getting an EV, or you already have an EV, and so now all of a sudden your energy consumption has gone up and you're paying the utility for that, and every year the utility company is increasing your energy rates. It is a wise thing to put solar on your rooftop. Even if the ITC goes away, you're still going to save money. The ITC is there as a tax credit. You have to have a federal tax liability to be able to claim the tax credit or to be a recipient of it. And so that's been the huge icing on the cake for several years for people who want to own their solar system and have true energy independence, control their energy costs, and if there's a power outage, which the state of California has experienced enough of those power outages, that if there's a power outage and you have the right battery type, meaning a backup battery, that you're going to have energy resilience, meaning the food in your refrigerator shouldn't go bad if you have a multi-day power outage because the battery is going to supply the energy for those appliances or for the refrigerator and for lights and for your modem and for whatever else that you might need. So solar provides these things: energy savings, energy resilience, and energy independence. And we're helping contribute to stabilizing the grid, believe it or not, when you have solar and you have a battery, because your household is not creating demand on the grid. So this is this whole going solar and being green and all those things is beneficial for not only you, but for your neighbor, your community, for the energy companies, whether they want to acknowledge that or not. You're creating energy for your home, and when you're not using it and it doesn't go in your battery, it's going to your neighbor. It's going to go back into the transmission lines where the utility company is going to sell that power to your neighbors, and they profit off of it. And in here in California, we've done away with net metering. So we don't have net metering anymore, where you used to be able to deposit those kilowatt hour credits, excess credits into your net metering account. That's why the batteries play such a huge role today in California, in the major utilities, PG&E, SCE, SDGE. Places like LADWP and SMUD, those are the two really big ones. Modesto Irrigation District is another one. Those are municipal utilities, and they still have net metering in place. So this is your call to action to get solar installed on your rooftop in wherever you live. My mom and my stepdad live in New York. My mom just sent me their utility bills, and we're going to look at putting solar on their rooftop because my stepdad's like, I think I'm ready to look at getting solar. So there's lots of different incentives, and like there's a state tax credit for solar in parts of New York. There are renewable energy credits in certain states. Like I know Maryland's a big one right now. I believe it's Maryland. I think Illinois still has some. Pennsylvania may have some. There's different states throughout America that have some state renewable energy credits and some tax credits that are above and beyond the federal tax credit that may incentivize you and help you save more on the cost of going solar. So it's very important that if you have been thinking about this, to not delay any longer, to look at what it costs for ownership, and if that's really important to you, to do it sooner rather than later. Because if this bill does pass, we don't know what kind of revisions might come across, that bill, but I would rather you not worry about that. I would rather you make that decision to move forward and hopefully capture that ITC before it goes away or greatly reduces, or who knows what could happen. I'm not a fortune teller. I can't predict the future, but I can tell you what I have the information that I have right now is, if you've ever thought about it, you should do it now. That's what I do know. When it comes to the TPOs, that was the third-party ownerships, which are leases and power purchase agreements and everything. They weren't going to be affected, but like I said, right before it went to go to the House to vote on, they changed it. And so that was also on the chopping block. So we'll see what ends up happening there. But regardless, if you want solar for your home and you want to own it, reach out to me. If you want to get a lease or a power purchase agreement, reach out to me. And we want to do this all relatively soon. Like I'm talking within the next week or two. Thankfully, my installer partner is very keen to what's going on, is prepared and positioned to install as many solar systems onto rooftops as possible. They install in 35 states at the moment. And so if you live outside of California and you want solar, I can certainly help you. California tends to be the big market that I help a lot of homeowners in, but I can help in several states. And so just make sure to reach out to me to get a solar quote, to get it installed on your rooftop over the summertime, like that. You need it according to what was in the bill. They're looking to cut off the solar tax credit and the TPO third-party ownership, their tax credits, by the end of the year. So, well, TPOs, I think it was shovel ready within 60 days before the end of the year. So there's not that much more of a window. But if this is something that you've been wanting to do, let's get on a call or a Zoom meeting to look at what solar can do for your home, how much money you can save, gain that energy independence and resilience, and not have to worry about this, because it's a big deal. It's a big deal for what the government is trying to do in thwarting green energy, clean energy, all of these things that we've been working towards people have been working towards this for decades. I mean, California wanted to be completely electrified by, I think, 2035. Like, all new car sales need, after a certain point in time, were supposed to be electric vehicles. Well, I think that electric vehicle credit is also on the chopping block with this big, beautiful bill. So all these things, not to make you rush into a decision and then have buyer's remorse, but to have you do it with confidence and with education and knowledge, and empowering you to make that decision to take control of your energy future. So the description in the description of this video is my website. It's www.jamiegreenthesolarqueen.com. You can go to my website, fill out the form. If you live in California and you are with PG&E, SDGE, or SCE, you're going to want to upload your most recent utility bill, as well as the green button interval data, which you can download from the utility company, from your account on the online. And you're going to want to do an entire year. So from yesterday to a year back, you're going to want to download that. I know PG&E is on it's an hourly interval data, so there's a lot of data there. But with SCE, they do it on a 15-minute. So it's a lot of cells that I have to go through and map out how much energy you're using every single month. And top of that, how much when you're using power after the sun goes down, because this is going to help me size your batteries correctly. And also, for people that do live in California and they've had solar under NEM 1 or NEM 2, and you're experiencing a true up, and I would say a true up that's at least $3,000 or more. $2,000 is kind of close. It's kind of still a bill swap. But we can also, my installer can also install non-exporting systems. And what this means is a solar system combined with storage that keeps the energy within the home. So if you have a true up, what this is going to do first is the non-exporting system and the battery will power the home as much as it can with the solar system and the batteries. And then once you're done with the battery, like the battery has been depleted, while that's happening, the first system is going to generate power. And if you're not using it because the non-exporting system is taking precedence, those kilowatt hour credits are going to be deposited into your net metering account, so that then it covers the areas that you are experiencing your true up. And it all depends on when you're using the power. So you're kind of like, put the first system is the net metering credit maker for you, and the non-exporting system and batteries will be generating the power first for the home, simultaneously generating power with the exporting system to create those credits that you can use within the calendar year and keep you under NEM 2.0 and not force you into NEM 3.0, which goes to net billing and needing multiple batteries and whatnot. So that is another option, and that also qualifies for that ITC. So if that's something you're experiencing and you want to knock that out now, and also be able, if you qualify for that ITC, you should definitely reach out to me there. So if you have, I'm going to even go to say a true up of a minimum of $2,500 a year, which is always going to get more expensive because our rates continue to go up in the state of California. This is something that you probably wanted to do, and do it now. So do it now and get ahead of this big, beautiful bill if it does pass. And we can only control what is going on in our world right now. We can't worry about the future. can't worry about what happened in the past. We can really only just worry about what's going on right now and make decisions based on now. Don't wait, don't delay is my message to you. And I'm here to help you. So again, Jamie Green, the Solar Queen.com is my website, or you can even text me and say, Jamie, I saw your video on YouTube. I want to get a solar quote. You can send me a text at 415-301-4646 and just let me know that as well. And I will be happy to help you. All right. You have a wonderful day, a safe Memorial Day weekend, and I'll see you in the next live stream. Bye-bye.